Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Tuesday was November 1st, All Saints' Day in the Catholic and North America Lutheran Church. Today, I want to talk about the Hunchback of Notre and how the church sees people who are different. I always have an issue with both the Catholic and Lutheran Church and their treatment of people with disabilities and people who they see as different, as well as Christianity in general. Quasimodo was a disabled orphan who was left in Notre in Paris. Through the years, he developed a hunchback as well as going deaf, as he was the bell ringer. In the Disney animated version, he was abandoned on the steps of the church. In another adaptation that I saw, it was implied that Father Claude Frollo was Quasimodo's uncle, his brother's son. In another, he was just a church chaplain. In any case, in both versions, Frollo treated Quasimodo like most people who are associated with the Catholic Church unfortunately treat those who they see as quote-unquote different, with pity and / disdain. Through the years, Frollo mentally abuses Quasimodo, making him believe that he is a quote-unquote monster due to his deformities and disabilities. He never permitted Quasimodo to attend Mass, morning prayers, or Vespers, but forces him to sit in the bell tower, all alone, only be visited by Frollo to teach him and give him food. Sure, Frollo administered the sacrament of Holy Communion to Quasimodo and taught him, but he only saw him as a tool and nothing else, certainly not as a human. When the gypsies came to the Festival of Fools in Paris, Esmeralda dances in a way that one might find provocatively, but seductively. This is where Captain Phoebus enters the picture. He was called to come to Paris to rid them of vermin, according to Frollo. It is interesting because Frollo, like many modern-day priests, claims that he wants to help Esmeralda. He even suggests living in the church with him as his mistress, and he could teach her to live a pure life. She rejects that idea quickly. A lot of the time, I discover that the sacred and the secular clash. When Dermalde claims sanctuary, Frollo says, fine, she chooses a beautiful prison, but a prison nonetheless. Before leaving, he warns her, if she leaves the church, she is his. God Help the Outcast is one of the most powerful ballads I have ever heard. While most of the parishioners who appears in the song asks for selfish, material things, Esmeralda asks for freedom from oppression and persecution for her people. I like the social justice angle that Disney went with, contradicting the source material. The issue is not that Frollo has normal human desires, but the way that he goes about it, which turns him into the true monster. Catholic priests, according to the earthly church, should be, quote, pure, but they are not, due to natural urges and desires that we all have as humans. Esmeralda could easily be a young man instead of a woman, and the same power struggle is still there. To deny those natural urges is denying that you are human, and that is dangerous for anybody. This is why I, and people everywhere, must reject the very outdated idea of lifelong celibacy regardless of sexual orientation or position within the Catholic Church's hierarchy. For God made us to be intimate with each other, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, according to Genesis, the 2nd chapter. We must reject the idea that homosexuality is an unforgivable sin, because God made us and He does not make mistakes. In the best villain song that Disney has created, Hellfire, Frollo struggles with his very real desires, in which Frollo sings about dominating Esmeralda. He asks the Virgin Mary to either destroy Esmeralda or release him from the spell, but of course she can't. There is only one person that is pure, Jesus Christ Himself. I find that a lot of the issues with the people in the Catholic Church is at the top in their outdated ways. Many do not bother to question it because it is God's way. But is it? Can we say that the Church is truly pure? Once Frollo discovers that Esmeralda has escaped the cathedral with the help of Quasimodo, Phoebus, under orders from Frollo, and him goes on a manhunt for her, committing genocide along the way and burning all of Paris. Phoebus finally stands up to Frollo when he orders him to set a house on fire with a woman and children inside, saying that he was not trained to murder the innocent, and Frollo injured him, almost murdering him. Truly monstrous act according to the 5th commandment. Esmeralda saves him, bringing him back to the cathedral to rest. Father Frollo lied to Quasimodo, breaking the third commandment, saying that he knows where the court of miracles is and he will attack. Quasimodo sets out. They find it and try to warn everybody, but Frollo was following them and ambushes them, recapturing Esmeralda. She is put on trial and is found guilty on the bogus charges of witchcraft. She was to be burned at the stake. Frollo gave her one last chance to be his. Quasimodo finally discovers that the only people who are cruel are the, quote, self-righteous, who uses God and His holy word to justify themselves while putting others down and not giving them the proper love and respect they rightly deserved. This is where the book and the movie split off. Where the book killed Quasimodo by him freezing to death, the Disney version has Quasimodo overpower Frollo, and in the end he falls and having him be accepted. Disney's adaptation of the Hunchback of Notre Dame is a cautionary tale of what can and will happen to those in power if they do not turn away from sin and refuse to embrace equality for all. Will the Catholic Church listen? I very much doubt it, but I pray they do. However, we can only hope that normal people will listen and fight back. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so.